Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. It is another video, man. Not a vlog, but today we are going over this week's trades. So, as you can see, we have our Notion journal with all of our trades for this week. We took 3 trades on the funded accounts, and then we're going to break them down on the charts here in a moment. So, let's get into it, why don't we? First trade of the week. Let's open this bad boy up. On the 22nd of July. The 22nd of July, we had a trade for 2 contracts on MAQ. And here's our screenshot at the time. We had our standard deviation overnight planned. Also, by the way, we took a trade on our live account from around this high or so, somewhere around here down to this low. So we caught the short down on our live account, and then on the funded account, we caught the long back up. Not exactly to the new day opening gap up here, but we still did catch a nice little move. Our confluences for the trade were we had our mid reversal here. So our -2.5 standard deviation is this red line here, and we extended it over here. So you can see they're labeled. I have the -2.5, then the -2. So when we got on the chart, we got notified when it hit this -2. And then we woke up to check our position. It made a nice rejection block, yes, but um, it still did trade through to the bottom of it since it wasn't quite um, time to reverse, I guess. So it did trade a little bit closer to that a new day opening gap, and I believe there were some fair value gaps here under there as well. So that gave some nice confluences to the upside. Um, as you can see, we have 2 buy arrows here and a sell arrow here, which tells you that it wasn't my first entry, and you'd be absolutely correct. So our first entry, we entered off the CE of this with our stop at the bottom here. But I was like, dude, this is definitely moving. This is definitely running. So I'm going to re-enter, and we did. So I re-entered and fell right back asleep. And then when I woke back up, we were in profit. So we closed that trade. And good thing we did, because as soon as market opened that day, we absolutely dumped. We had a crazy sell off that day. So that was our first winning trade of the week across 3 accounts. So really, you just tripled the sum for this week, and that's how much we made for this week. So around $900 or a little bit over $900. But took this trade on 3 accounts, and it was a nice dub for the week. 10R2. So it was amazing. Really brought up our confidence for the week and let us have a nice, good day. Here, second trade of the week on the 24th. Let's open up this one. On the 24th, we had our standard deviations with another entry trigger, which is our rejection block. So these trades have been doing very well for us recently. We've been getting insane RR. Like you can see, we went into like 2 ticks of drawdown in this trade. 2 ticks of drawdown. So my full stop loss was at 10 points. I could have just done the end of the candle here or just 5 points. As you see in the next trade, I did use 5 points because, 5 points worked out for me this week, and I don't know why I didn't use it here. So this one, I definitely should have sized up majorly, but I did use a full stop. So we did not end up doing that. But it was a nice 45 points. Had our level, I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, you won't be able to see it from here. I think I deleted it in the screenshot, but there was a nice level over here. Let's see. No, I don't even have the level marked out yet or anymore. Um, but we had some, it was one of our standard deviation levels. I'm not exactly sure if it was the -4 or the -2 because I forgot to put in my notes, but Very beautiful trade. And that was actually the low of the day that day. So we bottom ticked that and then got out right at the top over there. Um, and then for our final trade on the funded accounts for this week, we did have a loss. So all good things, you got to balance it out. And we did have a loss today. So we rushed the trade. So we took a trade off the -2 without, really watching for any kind of breakdown in price action or anything like that. I was just rushing to place a trade and get to sleep, and that ended up being the death of me. Well, not the death of me, but that ended up being the reason for the loss for today. Because if I just waited for the -4.5, if you want to read the note here of my recap, just pause it and read it. But as you can see, we have our -2.5 here. Well, it's not labeled anymore, but just know -2.5, -4.5. All right. -2.5 is right here. And we marked that one, or we had a alert set out here. So we got alerted once we crossed down through this level. That being said, we watched price continue to trade down. Never made a rejection block, so don't even know why I took the trade. And look at what happened to us. We lost. So if we had just waited for our 4.5, like we know we're supposed to, absolutely like beautiful delivery. 32, and I believe the low of that is like 30 or 29. So that would have been 3 points of drawdown. And that was the low of today. So let's show that actually on the chart here, because I'm a moron, guys. I'm really a moron. So as you can see, 32, and this low is at 30.25. So that would have been the low of the day for today. Oh my God. I don't know why it keeps doing that. And look at how far the max delivery of this move from our level, 144 points, man. 144 points. So we let our discipline break down on the last day, and that was a day that ended up being an L. So that should be a lesson to any one of you guys watching. But still came out of the week majorly in profit. And yeah, really happy with our performance for this week. My goal personally for this week was $1,000. We were just shy of that. So didn't quite hit our goal, but we did get really close to it. Next week, our goal is 1,000 again, and yeah, man, that's exactly what we're going to try and hit. So that's gonna be it for today, most likely. Well, that is gonna be it for today. There's no most likely about it. That's gonna be it for today. Hope you all enjoy, and hope you all have a good weekend. I might be making some more videos over the weekend, like going over my room setup, because as you can see in the background, there's some stuff on the wall, and I got some more stuff over here. So I'm gonna do a room tour very soon and very shortly, as well as a desk tour. But as far as today and trading goes, that is gonna be it for me. Hope y'all had a great trading session and traded a little bit better than I did. But I'll catch y'all in the next video. So peace out.